What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm out here at Harbor Freight. I'm lost in the sauce at Harbor Freight because I needed to get something to more easily get out my my rear end, which is going to be obviously my differential, rear axles, and all that stuff, and also to drop the trans without it dropping on me. You know what I mean? So what I actually ended up buying is something that I wasn't initially thinking about buying, and I think it might work out pretty good. I'm hoping we're not gonna have too many issues, but what I actually bought is a jack for MTV and ATV or motorcycle. So what it looks like is it's pretty much like a super fat jack, if that makes sense. It has a wide platform, and that's really what I was going for, and I want to kind of use that as a transmission jack because it sits a little bit lower, and obviously me working on the ground, I want it to be as low as possible. So I'm hoping it's gonna work out. I know it's for sure gonna work for the Diff. I think this is gonna work pretty good, and if it does, then you guys can definitely use my tactic. Wish me luck. I'll see you guys when I get home. All right, boys, shout out to you guys for actually showing me how to do something. And I've actually done this before, so I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I completely spaced. And I was looking at these tool holes yesterday, so I will admit I was wrong in the way that I was going about this, taking off the rear rotor. All you literally had to do is screw in a bolt and it pries itself out, which is these guys right here. You can screw into either one or both of them. And I just did one, and it is this bolt here. Literally just screws right in and it pries itself off the rear. Can't believe I totally spaced on that, but it's fine. So now you guys know how to do that. You use those two holes and the rear rotor will come off. Unlike the front, it doesn't have those holes, I don't believe, and you shock it loose. So that's what I was trying to do yesterday. It's good that obviously you guys helped out, got a clear mind, ready to go. So what I'm gonna actually start doing is picking up where I left off yesterday and taking apart the rear. So I'm gonna show you guys right now how to take off the brake shoe, which is gonna be this guy here, which is gonna give me access to get this e-brake cable fished out, and then I can get this rear off, and then we'll be ready to go. So I'm gonna do that on the other side as well. I'm gonna show you guys right now how to take it off. All right, as you guys saw, took off the top spring right over there, took off the bottom spring right down there. Also be very careful. It's smart to invest in a good set of needle nose pliers that are super sharp and grip really well, because those springs are literally springs of death, and they will attack you. So now what I'm gonna do, gotta get e-brake tool right here, and there's gonna be a little nail that goes through the back, and you can either hold that nail, or really all you do is you just press on this guy. You're gonna press and turn, and you're gonna see that the nail actually has a place that it goes through that little part that's holding it right around here. So you pretty much press and turn until the nail will release. So I'll try that now. And that is it. There it is, boys. E-brake cable officially getting fished out. I forgot to record me pulling out the axle as well. I forgot to turn on the camera, but it's the same thing as the trans. You just get it as straight as you can and pull straight out, and you should be good. So you guys just saw that little time lapse of me tearing apart the rear. I didn't end up ripping out the rear differential because it always gets really dark, like really fast now, which kind of sucks, but it's fine because I actually made a lot of good progress how to properly disassemble the rear. And shout out to the guy who told me to use the freaking bolt to get the rotor off, because that was a lot easier on the second time go around. So I'm pretty stoked on it. I'm actually not going to end the video here. I'm going to end the video tomorrow and get some more content for you guys, because I know this video is probably really short. So I'll see you guys tomorrow when we continue the teardown. Back at it again for a round 2 to complete the rear end of the WX. I think I'm actually going to be fully swapping over to STI today. Looks to be a little bit easier than I thought to take out the rear diff. Looks like there's about 6 or 8. I haven't really counted them yet, bolts that are holding that thing in. Here's the jack that I got yesterday from Harbor Freight. You can see it's going to be a lot easier to actually lower down that rear differential. I'm going to do a little time lapse of me getting that thing out of there, throwing the STI one up, and then kind of completing the rear end, throwing the 5x114 knuckles over here. Should bolt right up. We'll see how it goes. A million years later, I get the rear differential out. Okay. I can't even begin to describe how difficult that was. I think it would have been a bit easier if, number one, I had a helping hand. Number two, if I knew how it was oriented prior, if that kind of makes sense. So pretty much what I'm going to show you guys right now. I'll show you in a second. This guy right here, I wish I knew if I loosened that, it would make my life a lot easier. There's a bolt that goes straight in over there, straight in over here, and there's 2 smaller ones as well, which I could kind of show you over there. But pretty much what was holding me up was the fact that when you drop this lower portion, there's bolts that go through it, right? So you got bolts that go straight through, and straight through that thing as well. And then these studs need to go backwards. So this needs to go, you saw me kind of pull it this way and then down. But what was impeding it from going this way was the bolts that are going down through this. So those bolts needed to come out, and that's what they look like right over there. They're in pairs. So pretty much what you have to do is loosen up this guy here by the bolts on the side. Once that's loosened up, it's really, really light, and once you do that, you kind of just have to really finagle it. You have to loosen it up enough to where these bolts can slide out. Once you slide out the bolts here, it will allow you to move the whole differential back and down. There was nowhere where I could really find that show how to do that. It was really, really difficult, and also these 2 nuts were really difficult as well. They were right there. Those are those 2 nuts that I had to get off. You actually access them through the middle right here. That's where you have to get a little wrench in there, start loosening it up. Once you get it loosened up, then you can hop on this side and start loosening them out as well. So honestly, it was really, really difficult, but finally the differential was out. I'm gonna see if I can get the STI one in. If I can, I'll be very excited. Here are some more comparisons, WX to STI, WX being on the left, STI being on the right. You can see slight size differences. STI looks to be a bit bigger and also a bit taller. Pretty much the same dimensions going side to side. I measured it, it's about just over 7 inches, and then length looks to be about the same length as well. Just a bit taller than the STI. So I still feel like today we definitely got some work done, but I don't want to end today's episode just on this note. I want to end it with the rear end of the STI stuff getting put in. So I think I'm going to wait it out. I'm actually going to film yet another day and add that to this video, and I'll end it there. So I want to end it with STI stuff actually getting installed instead of these short videos, because I think they're a little bit too short and I want to put some more content in there. So I'm going to see you guys whenever I pick up the camera, whenever those studs comes in. I think it's going to be good. What is going on, guys? It is day 3 of this episode, and reason why I'm in this full monkey suit, right, is to celebrate the fact that we are finally installing my first STI part for the swap. Pretty much almost all done, ripping everything WX out. The last thing that I literally have is the 5-speed itself. But as you guys saw, obviously previously in this episode, there was only really the rear end, the rear diff, all that stuff, and I just dropped that yesterday. And I actually have a few hours that I think I can get some real good progress done. And you guys saw probably in the last clip before this, the fact that I was looking for those 2 studs. I was looking for those 2 studs that go into the rear diff, and I ended up just stealing them from the old R160 diff on the WX, and they're obviously the same for the STI, so those fit right in. They're already in the STI rear diff. Now what I'm going to do is another time lapse of me trying to get this differential up by myself, because if I can get the rear diff up and bolted in place, then I'm pretty much good to go to start reassembly of all the STI parts that need to go in there. The rear axles, the rear hubs. Obviously I'm going to be waiting on some rotors. My brakes are getting powder coated by Mike right now. And then we could actually test fit my wheels. So that's what I really want to do. I want to get those 5x114 hubs in the rear on so I can actually test fit my wheels. So we're going to see how far I can get. I'm really excited. Let's do it. So, of course, once I actually get the STI diff in there, my memory card gets full. So I don't know at what point the time lapse stopped. I think it stopped pretty early, unfortunately, but I finally finagled that thing in there. The 4 bolts. Oh, here's a perfect example. Here's the one that this guy gave me, which you actually don't need, I found out, because the STI one fits perfect. But these 4 bolts there are what go through the differential, and there's going to be nuts on the end of them holding it up. But this is the thing that I was kind of messing with to get it all lined up, to get the STI diff in there, and also to get those studs through. Diff is up there, as you can see. Freaking dope. And you can see those are the bolts right there. You can see them. You can see 2 of them. 2 bolts going through the differential. Those have to fish through all at the same time, while these 2 studs go through the rear. So it's pretty much, you're just messing with it, finagling it, going up and down, and put the 2 studs in and lower the diff down to get the bolts to go through, because you're messing with bolts going this way and also messing with bolts going down that all need to go in together. Pretty difficult, but you know, if I could do it by myself, I think you guys could do it probably with a helping hand. So that's pretty sick. I'm really excited. I'm gonna get this thing all bolted up, and then I'll move on to the next. And there we go, boys. The R180 is finally in. It is bolted up. It is ready to go to complete the rear end STI transformation. I'm super stoked on it, but I think I'm actually going to end the video here, because the next video is going to be hopefully a wheel test fit. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to complete the rear end. In the next video, I'm going to throw on the axles, I'm going to throw on the 5x114 knuckles, and then I'm also going to throw on just that old brake rotor. I don't have my brakes yet, but that doesn't matter because I just want to see the wheel actually on the car. So I'm going to leave that for the next video. I think it's going to be super sick. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned a lot, because we definitely did a lot during this video. And I know that the next one is probably going to be one of the best, because I think we're actually going to get a wheel test. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace out.